A 57-year-old woman wakes up to find a killer in her bedroom. It's not an intruder. It's her own left hand. Without warning, it lunges for her throat. She has to use her right hand to pry it off, just to stay alive. This isn't a horror movie. This is a real medical case from 1908, and it reveals something deeply unsettling about you. Your brain may not be one you at all. In my last short, we asked, which part of your brain is actually you? This woman's case is what happens when those parts stop cooperating. To understand why her own hand turned against her, we need to talk about a rare condition called alien hand syndrome. Alien hand syndrome is when one of your hands starts performing complex, goal-directed actions, but it no longer feels like it belongs to you. In 1908, neurologist Kurt Goldstein reported what he called Case 4. A woman whose left hand would suddenly grab her own throat. She wasn't faking. Later work on similar cases showed that strokes or surgery had damaged the corpus callosum, the thick bundle of fibers that lets your left and right hemispheres talk to each other. Her right hemisphere could still control the left hand, but her left hemisphere, the part that talks, narrates, and says, I, was no longer fully in charge. One body, two systems, and in her case, two conflicting intentions. Decades later, scientists would do something drastic. They intentionally cut the corpus callosum in epilepsy patients whose seizures couldn't be controlled any other way. Roger Sperry and Michael Gazzaniga showed that when the two hemispheres can't communicate, they behave like two separate observers, watching the same world. Here's what's fascinating. Show a word to the right visual field, and the left hemisphere can say it out loud. Show a different word to the left visual field, and the right hemisphere can't speak, but the left hand can draw or point to the correct answer, even while the patient denies seeing anything. Same skull, same person, but two information streams, two perspectives, and sometimes two different choices about what to do. So, when critics say, one brain can't have two wills, neuroscience quietly replies, it already does. Psychologist Julian Jaynes, and later Brian McVeigh, took this further with a radical idea called the bicameral mind. They argued that in ancient cultures, people hadn't yet developed a unified introspective I the way we have now. Instead, the brain worked more like a command response system. One part issued verbal commands, the other obeyed. In alien hand syndrome, the right hemisphere issues actions that feel alien, like a hand grabbing your throat. In Jaynes's model, that same hemisphere would issue voices instead of actions, auditory hallucinations that were experienced as gods, ancestors, or external authorities. McVeigh points to cases like our 1908th patient as a kind of smoking gun. Change the communication between hemispheres, and you don't just get weird movements. You get a second agent inside the same head. So what does this say about you? Your sense of being a single, unified self is not a raw fact of biology. It's a story, mostly told by your left hemisphere, to make sense of a brain that can, under the right conditions, behave like two partially independent minds. So when we ask, which part of your brain is actually you? The uncomfortable answer might be, there was never just one. This is just one kind of brain glitch that cracks open the illusion of a single self. If you want to follow up on how this same logic explains hypnosis, or even possession experiences, tell me in the comments. And if you want to help me dig into the research behind these episodes, there's a Buy Me a Coffee link in the description.